Hello everybody, welcome back to Bullseye Steve. I was talking with a guy, and he was telling me that he practices at least once every couple of weeks with his gun, and he usually tries to do a magazine each time. And he was also telling me that he was practicing clearing malfunctions. I thought that, I was planning on making a video doing that, and I thought, well, it's a good time to go ahead and do that since, it's still a little chilly outside, but right now we're having pretty good weather. So I've got my whole Glock out, and I thought we'd talk about that. First, I want to show you this picture. Now that picture was taken off of a video. And when I watched the video, this guy was shooting a gun that was way too powerful for him at the time, because you can tell he was a novice shooter. He wasn't prepared to handle the recoil on that gun. Although it was a revolver, he didn't have to worry about a double feed or a stovepipe situation in his semi-automatic. Revolvers, the only thing I ever known revolver having was a squib load. That's where the bullet gets lodged in the barrel because there wasn't enough powder in the shell to force the bullet all the way out. That makes it a dangerous situation. You could shoot the gun one more time and end up blowing your gun up. As you can see, took the magazine out, nothing in my gun. What I find a lot of problems with double feeds, especially when I'm teaching somebody new and they want to shoot a semi-automatic, they have to learn to control the recoil. About 98% of the time, whenever you get a stovepipe situation where the round is sticking up and there's no bullet in the shell, but it's sticking up, looks just like a stovepipe. It comes back far enough, but not far enough to eject the shell all the way out of the slide, but far enough to grab the next bullet under it and try to chamber it. And you get what we call a double feed or a stovepipe. Sometimes it won't grab the next shell down and just stovepipe on you. So I'm going to tell you, if you push with your strong hand that you're shooting with, push forward towards your target, your weak hand grabs your strong hand and pulls back. You got to push and pull back, okay? That way, your strong grip, you lock in your wrist, you shouldn't get much of a recoil. You should be able to get back on target pretty quick. A lot of people that end up getting these stovepipes or double feeds, their wrist breaks and they come up just about this position, just about every time. And if you learn to lock that wrist in, you shouldn't have that problem. The only other time I would think you would have any kind of problem like that is whenever the ammo might be something that just slipped through and it didn't have enough power to throw this slide back, because this is under a lot of tension, okay? Doesn't have enough power to throw his slide back to grab that next shell and throw that round out, or that empty shell out. So try stiffening your grip up. You might get, probably 2% out of 1,000,000 rounds will ever malfunction, where just nothing, it won't pop, it won't, the primer won't go or something. And I probably shot close to 700,000 rounds in my life. And I probably maybe once had a round that went, you know, nothing. Primer struck, nothing. But I, especially on revolver, I'd run that round back through, second time, it'd go off. So don't know if it was the improper seat of the primer, or it just didn't hit the primer hard enough, or whatever. But a lot of times I say it's going to be just that 1 out of 1,000,000 that does that. But I can just about bet you 98% of the time when you get a stovepipe or a double feed, it wasn't the ammo's problem, it's your wrist problem. It's the same thing with that picture I was showing you. This guy's lucky that he didn't blow his own head off. When he shot that gun, he wasn't prepared for the power that that gun was going to deliver. I know it was a novice shooter, because whenever that video showed him going from this to this, I mean, he was within inches of losing his life. And I bet you he's thinking about it now. But, you know, I've seen experienced people before shot their own foot, shot their own ass, just because they weren't paying attention to where that finger's at. Especially when you're shooting. If you're going to shoot, try to get in the habit of taking that finger off the trigger each time. If you're doing an exercise where you're doing double tap, know where your finger's at. Don't keep it rested on that trigger, and keep that wrist locked so whenever you do recoil, it doesn't come back far enough to shoot your own head off. I hope that helps some people out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But, you know, if there's anything else we can talk about, just feel free to contact me. I don't mind to talk about my experiences or anything that I might be able to help you with. You guys have a good day at the range and have a lot of fun. We'll catch you on the next one. And remember, if you're going to look like food, you will be eating. We'll see you guys.